Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let's see who was here first. Acelia E. Nelson, thank you so much for being here first. There are no prizes, but I'll give you a bell because you were here first. All right. And Lydia Washington, Brenda Lawler, Brenda Gray, Fancy. Uh, let's see, MJB, uh, Amelia Rodriguez. Hi, Janice Goodrich, Etna Terrain, Sonia H. Let's see. Oh yes, and please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And Morpha Ramon, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm just gonna scroll all the way to the last one. Raven is here, and I'll say hi to the rest of you all as we go along. Hey, Marcia Ware, welcome. Elaine Parker is here. Elaine, do you know what the hour is? But I appreciate you being here. Hey, Robin Hyde. Okay, let me get my face out of there so you can focus and concentrate on Harry's handsome face, or you could look at William's. You could look at William. Okay, so what do we have for today? Well, on the docket today, Sussex Squad fundraiser, Tan Coat Gate, Harry's shoes, GB News, plus more. And I haven't figured out the plus more yet, but we'll get to it. So if you take a look here, the Sussex Squad fundraising campaign for Cintabale 2023 is over. It has exceeded $30,000. $30,000. You guys deserve applause for that because whether you were able to contribute or not, or if you were only able to share the link, pass it on to other people, whatever your contribution, or if you're just praying for it, you have made your contribution. So, cheers. One more time. Oh, okay, good. It did not repeat. Good. So, yeah, cheers for that, you guys. Well done. Well done. The Sussex Squad. There is no substitute. Hello, Shay and Delphine. Marilyn Farley. Donna Black. All right. Hello, welcome. Okay, so that is, let me take a look right now. I want to see what the new figure is for the fundraiser. Okay, go to the, Okay, so right now it is $30,279. Well, it hasn't moved a lot since, but it will. It will, especially while we're on right now. Maybe it will. It could. Okay. All right. Very good. So, again, congratulations, everyone who have made contributions, who have passed on the information and so on. You could always share it on your various social medias. The link is in the community tab. So feel free. Please do pass it on. Hey, Puzzle Dot. Okay. Carolyn Soares is here. Angela Simmons. Margaret Rolland, thank you for being here. And if you take a look here, all right. So, full disclosure, there is another image of Meghan. And after some careful consideration of the past couple of days, and also the fact that, much like any other occasion, we don't know the nature of these photos. We don't know if they were just harboring those photos so that it would have the greatest impact for whatever, I guess, narrative that the palace or the tabloids are trying to establish. So I think not I think, I know I'm going to have to go back to the no PAP photo policy. But that being said, this other photo, it doesn't seem to be one from the PAPs. This one was obviously taken by a patron at a restaurant, but I'm just not in the mood to share it. But if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, you will eventually. Let me just say, Meghan looks absolutely beautiful. Also, I have been privy to a little conversation via the social media where some people were even speculating that the photos that were shared with Meghan's tan coat, that they may have altered her facial expression, which is a possibility. It is a possibility. The software can definitely do that. You can pull the corner of the mouth up or down or back or forth, however you choose to do it. You can arch the eyebrows to make someone look sad. You can arch them in a way where they look puzzled or curious or happy. There's a lot of things that we can do to photos nowadays. And along with that, thanks to AI, it's enough to make you doubt all sorts of things. So um, you really have to take these things into consideration when you decide, oh, I cannot wait to share that, because there's real life implications on the other side of it. So I'm going to have to go back to being super, super careful, because um, after the fact, then I don't feel so good about it. So, but still, no criticism to anyone who does share them. I understand we want to see our faves, and then you know, uh, how do I want to put this? I want to make sure I couch it properly. Some people feel that too little exposure is damaging. And of course, I don't know anyone who believes that too much exposure isn't damaging. But the thing is, whether it's good, bad, or somewhere in between, there's a there's no compensation for the photos for the Sussexes. There's no compensation. The only people that get compensated are the people taking the photos, selling the photos, and of course, the companies that monetize whatever Meghan is wearing. That is troubling, because if you get involved in a fender bender, there's a good chance that if you are hurt or injured by the impact, that you will receive damages. But when someone is just out taking your photos like that, it could be damaging to the person that is the subject of the photo. And again, there's no compensation for that. There's no compensation. And we have gone from them trying to say that Meghan was arranging the paparazzi. Remember that? Wasn't too long ago, especially every time they release photos during some key event going on in Narnia, Meghan orchestrated that, right? And then when they decide that, oh, let's see, she's wearing a patch on her wrist that is for stress, then of course there is no idea that Meghan orchestrated that. Now the idea is they just seem to capture her randomly, and they were able to see that she's in a bad way. So if they think she's in a bad way, then obviously the paparazzi had nothing to do with it. But if they think that is something that draws attention from the rest of the family, which most of them are on vacation, then of course she's just a troubled soul wandering around with nothing to do. Um, again, the narrative is whatever they choose to make it, whatever sells papers, whatever bolsters the image of whoever is in bed with them in the royal family. Whichever household or member of the household is in bed with them, then that is the likely story. So, yeah, when you consider those things, it starts to bring a lot into sharp focus where you just can't seem to win either way. But like I said, Meghan's not being compensated. She may or may not be in a bad way. Um, and I guess the new narrative from the tabloids is, oh, Harry's having fun and Meghan is at home stressed. Well, the thing is, whether that's true or not true, there's a lot of people every day who has to leave the house to go and work, whether it's across town or across the country, and the survival of their family depends on them going to work. So where that's concerned, they're not so different from any other family. Again, we don't know either way. But then again, most of us do not have the full weight of the British tabloid media trying to destroy us. So you can't ignore that fact either. So I guess lastly, I'll just say it again. It's a judgment call, but there could be some real hurt and pain on the other side of those photos that we don't know of. We know nothing about it. So it's something that should be considered. Okay. And Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Monday to you. Yeah, Monday. I'm embarrassed to say it. Happy Monday to you. And happy Sunday to everyone in the Western Hemisphere. Yeah, happy. Oh, Oh, you know what? I realized I forgot to do something. Wait, did I? No, I didn't put the troll spray on, did I? Hold on, y'all. I didn't put on the troll spray. Give me a second. I don't think I put the troll spray on. If you don't know what the troll spray is, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. But it is necessary. Uh wow, did somebody roofie me? I totally forgot the troll spray. Okay. That keeps the misfits away from us. You know what I mean? Got to keep those misfits away. Uh, Lord have mercy. I didn't even put the thumbnail up. What is wrong with me? I didn't even do the thumbnail. And I had it all ready too. Oh, Lord. I didn't even put the thumbnail up. Oh, man. You know what, guys? It is kind of overcast and it's like 90% chance of rain. And you know how muddled my mind becomes on a rainy day. I have, and to think I was like, oh, look at that, I'm going to start on time. And I thought I was all set. I have missed all manner, that is, of things that I was supposed to do before I came on. Maybe that's why I was going so fast, is because I didn't do everything. But let me do this. I'll put the troll spray on to keep the riffraff away. And if you are a deranger, as I've said so many times, go to hell. And also, let me see if I can't block you away from the channel. Okay. Okay, so that's done. All right. And one more adjustment, and we're good to go. Let me take a sip of this coffee. I probably need it. And tomorrow, there's like 90% chance of rain. I'm not going to be good for the next couple of days. So 1 week, let's see if that comes up on the chat. 1 week. So if you have not been a subscriber for at least a week, you won't be able to comment on Royal Sussex. How about that? How about that, derangers? Take that, derangers. There we go. Okay, so I got that done. That's done. And okay, we're good. We are good. We're so good. All right. No thumbnail, no nothing. I must be losing my mind. Okay. Twitter. Oh, Lord, that's the wrong one. Okay, let me get out of here. All right, back to the conversation then. Oh, no, what did I do? Oh, my goodness. You know what? I thought I just clicked myself. Sorry. I thought I just clicked myself, but I didn't. I thought I had just deleted the channel. I mean, not the channel, but the everything. But I didn't. Oh, thank goodness for that. All right. So, Lydia, Hark, what is the Sussex Files? Is that a new Sussex friendly channel? I've never heard of it. Okay, let me see. Okay, I've oh wait, I got it. Oh boy. I am not firing on all cylinders today. Okay. Bear with me, you all. I'm almost there. As a matter of fact, let me do this for you. Once upon a time? Okay, yeah, once upon a time. And once that's over with, everything will be as it should be. I love that. I love that. That is so much fun. Cha cha cha. Oh man. If there's anything that gets me on my worst days or gets me through my worst days, it is once upon a time. I love that. That is so much fun. And then of course, some of it is hard to believe, like a virgin. I wouldn't buy that one. Okay. And we're back. I tell you, I'm just sitting up here sweating. I goofed up so much. All right. So I left off. Where was I? I don't recall. Let me scroll through here. Oh, what's that, Santanya Smith? These people are angry because they know the truth. If there was the truth, it would be, they would not be mad and say is. So that's okay. Thank you. All right. Hey, Anastasia. All right. I see I'm kind of behind, so I'm just going to scroll all the way to the last comment. Wow, there's a lot here. Hey, Church Nelly. I know. Um and did you say you live near a naval base? I don't recall. But all right. Lambert Charles, thanks for being here. once upon an opportunity, I am checking in and saying, good morning, evening squaddies. Hello, Baron. Thank you for being here, Lambert. Okay. In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas in the Navy. Okay, so the photo, as I was going to say, the photo, uh, I looked at the Instagram channel, and it's called Des Moines. I think I'm saying that right, Des Moines. Well, when I looked to see who posted the image, and it wasn't from a pap, it was from this website. Look at who's following this website. Mandana Dayani, Priyanka Chopra, Trevor Noah, and Chrissy Teigen. That was a surprise. So again, that's where the origin of the photo comes from, because the screenshot that was shared, you could see Des Moines up there at the top. And so I'm just sharing that with you. I mean, I almost considered it, but I'm just like not in the mood for it right now. So I'm going to pass on sharing it. But these things makes the rounds pretty fast in the Sussex squad community. So I'm sure most people have seen it already. But yeah, so this Instagram channel page has 2 million followers, and they are following 1,700 other Instagrams, and they have some 1,376 posts. So I don't know what that means. I could not find any information about what Des Moines means. And so I don't know what the origin of the channel is. I checked the Twitter, and same thing. It doesn't say, it just says, oh, we can't confirm anything, whatever is posted. So you figure out what it means. But again, it could have just been someone sitting in a restaurant, and they posted that on their Twitter, and then somehow, or not Twitter, but their Instagram, and somehow it ended up over here on this one, which just happens to be followed by some familiar names. I don't know what that means. So there you go. And right here, Dr. Melissa Murray, Professor Melissa Murray, she says, for your information, California can be cold and damp in the summer. And because of the marine layer, it's not unusual for California residents to wear heavy layers in the morning or evening. But even without the temp change, if someone wants to wear clothes she bought, that's her business, not yours. So Professor Murray appears on MSNBC, and she is Team Sussex. Not necessarily Sussex squad, but she says she's Team Sussex. So that being said, Melissa Murray is saying what so many people are thinking, is that is Meghan's business what she wears. When you live near the ocean, or if you live by the Great Lakes, if you live by any significant body of water, then from time to time, you will notice that these temperature changes, it can be a 10-degree difference between the ocean front and further inland. So what is necessarily a warmer region may actually get very cold.
Because I can't get it out of my mind. Melissa, to you first. I'm looking at the upper right hand behind you. Is that a giant picture of Meghan Markle? And I also want to know, on your pineapple pillow, what does it say?
It So I think the pineapple pillow is a room raider pillow. And yes, that is a giant head of Meghan Markle.
That's fantastic. And to Jackie, you know,
just to give you a little background in case you're not familiar with with Professor Murray, she is definitely Team Sussex. She has another room that she uses for television appearances, and she actually has a signboard that says Team Sussex. I am Team Sussex. So there you go. And it just so happens that this summer in the Midwest, it was particularly chilly. It seemed like it was like maybe the end of June before we really got the real summer heat. It was probably the end of June. Before that, it didn't seem like it was ever going to warm up. Now, I have a theory of my own. And my theory is stop wearing cheap stuff and you won't get overheated. That happens to be a camel coat, and it is a natural and sustainable fiber. And for that reason, it breathes. So even though it keeps you warm, it also breathes, unlike synthetic fibers. So if you're wearing cheap stuff, then you're going to get hot and overheated. But if you're wearing natural fibers, like you really ought to, then of course. So the people that are hating are just wearing some cheap stuff, and they don't know what it's like to have a luxury brand. But they don't believe Meghan deserves to have a luxury brand. That is because, as I've said, people don't ever seem to think that Black women deserve to have anything nice. They're supposed to suffer through hardships and inconveniences because that is how they picture people of color living. They don't matter, and those that do deserve what they get. That is the mentality of some people. Some people will just side with the one percenters against people of color, even if they themselves are the 1%. It's really exhausting, the whole idea of it. But I just I just really get bothered by this idea that someone who works hard and achieves is not entitled to have certain things if they're the wrong color, if they come from the wrong side of the tracks, if they are the wrong whatever in comparison to the standard of beauty and elegance and bloodlines and all of the other stuff that people use to put each other down. And in so many cases, the people that are putting you down, they don't fit in that situation either. They're just really being the gatekeepers for other people. That's what's so stupid about it. It's like people that are MAGA people that don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and yet they keep carrying the water for the people who vote against them. They vote against themselves, and the people in Congress vote against what they need, and still they keep voting for them, and they believe in them as if one day they're going to wake up and be one of them. Not likely. So that jealousy is really misplaced. Meghan has worked hard. The first thing she purchased when she had the money was something she always wanted, and that was her Cartier tank watch, a watch that she valued forever. And then, of course, when married to Harry, she was gifted another tank watch that happened to belong to Harry's mother. It's just another one of those things that you could say, like, wow, Harry and Meghan were just always meant to be. And it just seems that way to me. I mean, it's just so many of those very weird coincidences where you have them in different places at different times and somehow connected by situations, by objects, by people, by their causes. There's so many ways that they were connected. And it just so happens that which she wanted to say, hey, I've arrived. Nothing wrong with that. And then she gets another one upon marriage. Not a ring that carries a horrible curse. No, she gets another tank watch, and not even the same watch. I think hers is the white gold, the other one is yellow gold. So it's like the same but different. It was meant to be. That's just a theory of mine. So there you go. And there's the Hermes scarf. I had to find the actual pattern to see what it looks like. And it just screams California, doesn't it? I see palm trees. I see roller skates. I see a beach, maybe. But yeah, I think that design screams California. Very, very cool. And speaking of tan coats, check it out. Even Nacho will occasionally pull out the tan coat. There, you see, even Nacho has a tan coat. Just so happened to find that, probably because I Googled tan coat. And somehow that came up. And what is he doing? He's walking along the beach. And I tell you, his wife is pretty. She's so athletic and fit and tall. And yeah, she's very pretty. She's so athletic. They make a good couple. I think they make a great couple. And I was reading a little bit of her bio. She comes from a pretty well-to-do or well-established family in Argentina, but I think they're a great match for each other. But yeah, she's gorgeous. So fit and athletic. Okay, did I tell you she was fit and athletic? She's very fit and athletic. Oh, and I think she was like well, anyway, she knows her horses too. So I think she did like the jumps with the horses or something like that. Cynthia, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Monday or Sunday to you. All right, thank you very much. And then, of course, there's Prince Harry. Prince Harry's shoes is the moment. It is a fashion moment. I can't believe it, but those are the shoes that have become a must-have accessory or a shoe. Prince Harry just stepped out in travel-friendly vent sneakers that are on sale for $115 off right now. So it's not $115, it's $115 off. Well, he has really caused a stir. Oh, Cher Brown, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. Prince Harry just modeled travel-friendly sneakers that are tailor-made for stepping into autumn tones, autumn tones, and texture. On August 10th, he was seen at Tokyo Haneda Airport wearing the Vince Pacific corduroy, listen to me, corduroy suede sneaker in a warm tan colorway, what a weird word, that happened to be 50% off today. And let's see, they're already selling out. The Duke of Sussex is constantly jet-setting around the globe and attending events that require shoes for standing all day. So when he travels in sophisticated-looking footwear, it's best to take notes. His Vince sneakers come in a slip-on shoe style, which is a genius option for airport convenience, because if you don't have to deal with pesky laces in the security line, their soft yet durable leather construction makes them flexible so they can easily fold into your luggage without taking up a lot of space or getting crushed by other bulky essentials. The sneakers' low-profile look and natural colorway can pair with any outfit or occasion, including loungewear jeans, and trousers. So they're a great versatile shoe to take along a trip when you have to limit your haul. And this is from a magazine I never heard of called, what is it called? It is called Footwear News. Yeah, Footwear News. Yeah, that's it. Footwear News. Didn't know they had a magazine, but it's called Footwear News. And if you see it in Footwear News, then it must be true. They're growing on me. I kind of like them. They're growing on me. But I think that they're uber expensive. And most likely, I think the Duchess of Sussex probably picked those out for him. But yeah, they are really nice. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. I kind of like the tan ones, though. Let's see here. Oh, man. Okay, let me see. Duchess Meghan dresses her husband. Oh, there it is. Her hubby in brands and comfort. Her Harry is rocking the fashion scene. Yeah, and it's not the first time either. So take a look there. That is Town and Country. I'm telling you, this is like not the biggest news on the planet, but the story has been picked up a few places where people want to talk about those shoes. Isn't that something? Now, unfortunately, the flash of the camera has actually made his shirt, I guess it's a t-shirt, bleed through that nice jacket that he has on. And you can actually, see the sleeve and everything. But yeah, I mean, they must have some very intense light, which is a good reason for him to turn around and look like, what in the world is going on here? Well, the Duke of Sussex was in Japan. That's what's going on. And they are Prince Harry crazy over there right now. So, dear frail derangers and other haters, what are you mad about today? Anyways, sorrows and prayers. And thank you for the squatty that posted that. I like it. I think it speaks volumes of how they ought to feel right now. Sorrows and prayers is all we have to offer. But yeah, they are mad. They are mad. Harry is just very fashion forward and everything looks good on him. And okay, so let us get to William and his jealousy. This recent campaign of anti-Harry, anti-Meghan, I still believe that a lot of this has to do with Camilla, but I still think that William, this is just my opinion, I'm just going to allege that he has made some connections, as I have alleged many times before, but he has made some connections with the tabloid media. And because of those connections, he has done just like his father and has gotten into bed with the press. And I thought about that as far as the royal family is concerned. This is something that Charles started. I don't know that the Queen has ever truly been in the bed with the press. Now, Philip was out there being Philip, and he had a lot of things that he needed to, atone for. But I think back in the days when Philip was being Philip, when he was out there Philipping, I still think the weight of the Queen's popularity and the love and the concern that people had for the Queen, I believe that a lot of people would not want to expose her to the ridicule that would come from, telling all of Philip's dirt. And it was a different time. And it's just like with John F. Kennedy. At the time when Kennedy was allegedly having all of these affairs, and I don't believe that it was as numerous as they claim it to be, but at the time when they claimed that he had all these affairs, um, notice that it was not a matter of public information. And the same with Franklin Roosevelt's wheelchair. It wasn't anything that was broadly discussed. People knew he had leg braces and such, but most people didn't know the extent of his polio or his paralysis. Most people didn't know the extent of it. He would take photos standing whenever possible. It wasn't a topic of conversation from the media. They had other stuff to deal with. And so I think the same goes for Philip. But Charles, on the other hand, I believe Charles started this relationship with the press as we know it today. And remember, the Royal Rota started, what, about 30 years ago? So that didn't exist in the form that it exists now. And the Royal Rota pretty much gave the media control of the monarchy. I don't think they had that kind of control with the Queen. I don't think that it would have been wise to try to handle her because the public would turn against you. But Charles, on the other hand, bought and paid for. William bought and paid for. And William has repeated the same mistake that his father made by getting in bed with the tabloid media. Patricio Marcel, thank you so much for 24 months of membership to Royal Sussex. Still find that hard to believe. 24 months. How long have I been at this? But thank you so much for that. So yeah, I think it is history repeating. I believe that William has gotten into bed with the tabloid media. And as one of the squatties was just saying, that because of that, he also, just like Charles, he's bringing these people into his circle of trust. I studied all of those images that the royal rodents, like let's say Hoghead Pierce Morgan and a few other people, they had pictures of themselves with the Queen as their profile pictures, but none of them have an exchange of words with the Queen. None of them are posing next to the Queen. She wouldn't have it. If you weren't Sir David Attenborough, you weren't likely to get that close to her. And we almost forget the Queen didn't do interviews. The Queen didn't do interviews. Charles does interviews. William, he can't shut up. So I believe that William's desperate jealousy for Harry has driven him right into the arms of the tabloid media. And he has been compromised so much that he will never be able to stand in his own right. He will never be able to stand on his own. Now he's dependent upon them, just like some kind of controlled substance. Now he is dependent upon them, because if he doesn't, and they know all his secrets, they know his weaknesses, they know who he's been sharing pulled pork sandwiches with, he's doomed. He is doomed. You know, and as we have struggled with our feelings about the Queen, think about this. I cannot think of one person in the media that I would say, oh, the Queen was in the bed with that person. I can't think of one. But I could think of somebody who's been sharing a pulled pork sandwich. I could easily think of someone who has traveled 1,000 miles for a pulled pork sandwich. at the behest, and I don't even know what that word means, of someone. What does that mean? Anyway, of someone in the tabloid media. I swear I don't know what that means. Oh, I know what that means. Well, Patricio, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member. And thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex. Very nice. I appreciate it. And the 24 months. Diane Hawkins says, King Charles III is a very weak man. Camilla is definitely in charge and means to erase all of Diana's memories. Harry clearly saw that was happening and steered clear, but Billy goes along because of his secrets. Well, let's not forget, Diane, and he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. You know, this photo, I keep going back to this photo, as you notice. Notice Harry is scanning. Harry is scanning the perimeter. He is gazing at the crowd as though his little body could protect his family. While William is so preoccupied with this very steely stare that Harry has, our little soldier, William, who's uncertain of himself, poor shy William. William is looking like a lamb, and Harry looks like a hawk. He looks like a raptor, like he's going to just swoop down and pick up some prey and fly off with the sickly little animal and take it out of his misery. Harry has a very defensive posture. He's standing at attention. William, no, not so much. Not so much. I mean, they're kids. You could read a lot into this, but I just see the difference between the two of them, as always. And poor Harry having to downplay his courage, downplay his intelligence, downplay everything that made him what he is today, just so his brother wouldn't feel awkward and useless and insecure, which of course he is. But yeah, you're right, Dan Hawkins. Charles is a very weak man. Weak man. Let's see. 1960 says Charles may have made William do this before he actually realized what would happen. Now it's too late. Yeah. Plus, William also tried to reject input from his family. It seems as though William has this go his own way, do things differently, be very modern and progressive. The only thing is he doesn't have the good sense to go along with it. He may have good intentions, but he doesn't have good sense. Like right here, Prince William and Kate didn't get the rave reviews they were hoping for in America. This is about Harry. This is about Harry. William talking about Africa was because of Harry. William trying to get into Africa was all about Harry. Where was Harry when William got so angry? Harry and Meghan were on that tour of South Africa, and I think William and Kate were in Pakistan, and all the attention was on Harry, and he just couldn't take it. He ended his long friendship with Tom Bradby because Tom Bradby had the audacity to give Harry and Meghan a voice when everyone else was trying to shut them down, trying to make them suffer in silence. He gave them a voice, and he couldn't take it. He got so outraged, so hostile, that he makes a public statement. And you don't hear the tabloid media say this, but he made a public statement about his ending his friendship with Tom Bradby. He really wanted Tom Bradby on his side because, if nothing else, Tom Bradby is trustworthy. Tom Bradby was a friend to both him and Harry. But when Tom Bradby saw that Harry was in trouble, when he saw that Meghan was in trouble, and Tom Bradby, who has suffered from mental health issues, he decided to talk to them, ask them questions. And I guess William believed that that type of attention doesn't go to the spare. It's for the heir. Even if the heir doesn't want to talk, you don't do that. I'm the heir. I'm always supposed to look good. So he made a public statement that he would end his relationship with Tom Bradby. It says here the British royal family news suggests that it might be a very long time before Prince William and Kate Middleton return to America again, if they got sense. That's because the Prince and Princess of Wales really didn't get the kind of rave reviews they were hoping for during their 3-day visit to Boston. In fact, it seems like most of America really didn't even care, and that they were there in the first place. Here's what you need to know. Well, as that article went on to say, it was a big fat nothing burger. They were booed at a basketball game. My favorite part, of course, is Carolyn Kennedy didn't even show up. And when she did the next day, she was in a jogging suit. Also, the former Secretary of State, war hero, John Kerry, he made his apologies the first night and could not avoid it the second night. It was nothing. And you have to remember, they built that up as being a Super Bowl event. It was going to be monumental like the Super Bowl, even though they didn't even have the decency to invite the people that were being rewarded. They spent about $7 million so far of the 12 million that they had, or whatever it was. They spent a lot of money putting on this show and didn't even invite the winners, citing the environment. But they did invite David Beckham to come all the way from the Middle East on a private jet to make an appearance and then go back to the Middle East. But the winners, they could not be there. The 5 people selected to receive the award money were not invited. Money that wasn't paid out all at once, by the way. They get it in increments. And all of this was because of Harry, because his need to compete with Harry. He has been competing against Harry. It must really destroy him how good looking Harry is and how bad he looks now. Look at that. Royal family support will help fight the stigma of mental health, as our CEO, Countess Sane, told AP. Well, you remember her. That's the one that got in trouble for talking about Meghan that time. Sane. Insane, sane. Boy, I tell you, that's too close for comfort. But yeah, Countess Sane. But anyway, so his need to compete. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because, look, just like what I just showed you, you see there? He can't stop looking at Harry. I had to go back and that's the same way he was looking at Meghan when she was talking, when they had that forum. He doesn't like to have the attention taken away from him. And it seems like father, like son. He's just too much like his daddy. Vindictive, spiteful, turn against his own family. Is it in the blood, or is it in the blood? You know what I'm saying? Is it because he's an heir, or is it because that's just his personality? I don't know, but they have turned him into a monster. They have turned him into a monster that is so jealous of Harry. And then if that's not enough, Then he takes his big mouth self and gets on camera and gets a speech out that somebody gave to him and totally shuts down his mother. He reads that speech saying that Martin Bashir and the BBC lured his mother into that interview, and that is one of the reasons that his parents were not any closer than they were, and all that kind of stuff, which is a bunch of hogwash. Somebody from the tabloid media, this is just my belief, somebody from the tabloid media gave this dummy that speech to go and read. And by blaming Martin Bashir, by blaming the BBC, that the tabloids would like to get rid of anyway, especially Rupert Murdoch, they're after the BBC. They don't want the BBC to exist. They've already cowered the BBC into being too much like a Tory channel. Now they have the BBC in their sights to pretty much put them out of business, to undermine any credibility that they have left. And so blaming the BBC, blaming Martin Bashir, that absolves any and all of the damage that has been done by the rest of the tabloid media. His mother is buried at Althorpe, not just because of the BBC and Martin Bashir, but because of the whole tabloid media industry. All of them. It's not just one person. It wasn't just Martin Bashir. Martin Bashir wasn't the one hounding her with a camera. Martin Bashir wasn't the one telling all those lies and taking Charles' side of everything. Martin Bashir didn't do that. So why would you make this stupid statement blaming them for your parents' separation when it was a combination of things, mostly your father and his side piece? I noticed he didn't mention Camilla. Why not mention Camilla? That's, to me, the leading cause is Charles and Camilla. That just goes to show you the lack of intelligence that he has. So it's not just so much that he lacks imagination, he lacks intelligence. He doesn't think. He does what he's told. And I don't think that it's so much that he's worried about what people know about him as he's just dumb. He's not bright. He doesn't think for himself. He doesn't have anyone reliable in his corner. And that's why you see this. Is history repeating? That's why you see this. That's why when you look at the last days of one couple, it looks like the current days of another couple. What is that about? And they make excuses for them. They try to pull out. I can go into my little archive, and right off the top of my head, I'm thinking of two photos where they tried to say, three, where they tried to say there was this loving exchange. One of them, their faces don't even line up. William's looking across one side, she's looking at somebody else and smiling and laughing. There's another one where he's pretending to be Mitch and Roll-On deodorant. He's gazing down at the floor, and she's looking at him with despair. And they're saying that that was some tender exchange. And they both look horrible, as though they were trapped in their clothes or something. And they tried to make it seem like it was this love story of the ages, when anybody with eyes can see how separate and apart they were in that moment. And of course, at the Royal Carol, that Christmas farce where she pretended to play the piano, and they're just looking at each other in despair. And to try to say that it's protocol, you don't see that with other royal households. I cannot think of one. I have never seen a photo of other royal couples that could not stand the sight of each other, except for Diana and Charles. That's the only other time I've seen that. Even the Queen and Philip knew how to connect. in their rather cold and frigid, icy way. And this is the reason why he's in trouble. This is who he has aligned himself to. Simon Cash, Jason Knopf, what is his name? Christopher Jones. And of course, the Middletons that are broke. The broke Middletons. His wife's family is broke and in debt. Broke and in debt. The Middletons, the ones that changed schools so that she could be there at St. Andrews when he was there. They're broke. And now he's stuck. William is stuck. He is stuck. He's trapped. And that's why he's so volatile, is because he's the one that's trapped. He's jealous of Harry because Harry has his freedom. People love Harry. People respond to him. He doesn't have to put on airs and graces. He's his own person. And people adore him for that. And he has a media that is making money. They have managed to monetize saying otherwise. But anybody could just tell that Harry is living his best life, and it burns him up because that's supposed to be his story as far as he's concerned. That's supposed to be his story. And he's angry as though Harry has hijacked his story and taken something from him. It's not that he's taken anything. He just removed himself from the equation. He got wise and got out. And that bothers him. He acts like Harry owes him something. He doesn't owe him anything. Everything that they told him his whole life is a lie. He's not that important. He's not that bright. He's not ordained. And he's a big loser. And he's stuck with those people. He has no place to go now. He is stuck. He's trapped. He's trapped with Kate. He's trapped with her family and all their debt. Eventually, they're going to put them up in Royal Lodge or somewhere. Or maybe they'll give them the Frogmore. They'll give them something. They're going to have to because they're broke. They bought poor as a chicken wing. Poor. And William has $1 billion. So how long can you sit on top of $1 billion before people are going to expect you to put an end to this embarrassment? They just have to find a way to do it. That's all. But they're going to have to put an end to this embarrassment because, well, let's just take a look, shall we? Wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. Let me do this. Let's just take a look. Let me see, where is that at? Okay. I'll put that over there. Oh, nope, that didn't work out. Okay, let's take a look at this.
So keep spreading the love.
Thank you that you speak so much directness. For such an icon, so modest, oh my word.
Oh, well, you all have it.
He doesn't have that. William doesn't have that and never will have that. That's not his story. And believe me, William sees this and is eating him up. It is literally eating the follicles out of his scalp. Seeing stuff like that is detrimental to him. This is William's story. This is how it is for William. that is William's story. He really messed up. He really messed up. All of that, I guess, trying to coerce Harry into staying single and trying to manipulate him behind his back and such, going along with the people in the media. At first it was just his father and Camilla, and then he became part of it. I mean, he's done the worst. I think he's done the worst because what he did, and probably along with his father and Camilla, but he's the one that really drove them out of the country. He's the one that drove them out of the country. It is a disaster of his own making. He drove them out of the country. Harry wanted to leave. Don't get me wrong. He wanted to leave, but his brother drove him out of the Kensington Palace and eventually out of the country. That 5 months that Meghan was in Frogmore Cottage and nobody in the family, his own brother, would speak up for him ever. He's helping people destroy his brother, helping people destroy his sister-in-law, and likely trying to prevent the wedding from ever taking place. And he's only got himself to blame. He only has himself to blame. I pray that we all live so long to see all of this unravel, all of it. Let's see. Patricio says, William is an educated idiot. His father did not marry a paranoid young woman. The monstrous family his mother was married into wanted her to go crazy, exactly as they were doing to Meghan. Yep. Gaslighting, plotting against them with the media and such. I was thinking today about when what's his name? Robert Jobson wrote that article about William needing to man up and take more, do more work with the family. That was 2017 when William went on that ski trip. I believe Charles put Robert Jobson up to writing that article. Charles could not confront his son himself, so he had Robert Jobson write an article saying it's time to grow up. That's how they communicate with each other. They brief against each other. So Charles had Robert Jobson, I believe, I'm alleging, had Robert Jobson write that article about him being away on that ski holiday with his family, where he ends up in the company of some blonde woman that is not his wife. I believe that article was written by Robert Jobson, but it was pretty much a narrative that his father gave to them. Just as they brief against him, he brief against them. So the two houses, Clarence House and Kensington Palace, they have been briefing against each other. And as he said as Harry mentioned in Spare, that William had his own argument, or he would take care of Camilla himself. So far, he hasn't done much, has he? I can't see where she's been affected. Can you? I just love looking at that sour puss of his, because he has really, really messed up. Has it come to that, Church Nelly? Has it come to that? Diane Black says that's why they need Prince Harry back to shield William's ineptitude. Yep. That is what they're hoping for. How to get him back without Meghan. How to get him back without the kids. Although they would love to have the kids there, because, one thing that people like to do is to make children of color, which, like it or not, they are. They want to make it seem like they're a charity case, because that helps to boost their image. And they would have loved, see, if Meghan was a charity case, like how they used to make people believe that Charles was bankrolling Meghan's wardrobe, and we find out that wasn't the case. If they could have made Meghan out to be some type of charity case, if she wasn't so outspoken, if she wasn't so self-made, they would have been able to work with her. But you know what they call somebody like that? Sophie Wessex. Yeah, when you take in a charity case like Sophie Wessex, who showed up broke, they would have been able to work with her. But she would have had to probably wear a burqa or something similar. She probably would have had to wear something like that in order to fit in. But otherwise, if she had shown any type of individuality, aside from wearing a potato sack with some arms cut into it, then she wouldn't have been able to make it. But they would have worked with her if she would have been a Sophie Wessex. Yeah, they could work with Sophie. They don't expect much from Sophie. Sophie had to get in where she could fit in because she didn't have any money. When she got there, she was broke. Meghan shows up with $5 million or more and whatever she had in royalties, plus a fine education. So, you know, with or without, she was set. But Ford Fiesta showed up with a broken clutch, some wore out brake rotors, a leaky leaking antifreeze, a loose fan belt. She came in there in desperate need of repair, financially, spiritually, and everything else. And then, in spite of all of that, it took years for Ford Fiesta to finally become a Duchess. That's got to be a record. That has to be a record. It took her, 24 years? I think it was 24 years before she finally became a Duchess. All that time, she waiting for Philip to go to his glory, and still she couldn't have it. Now she's finally a Duchess. And now she don't even, well, at least her now she's got the motorcade, and they don't even bother to acknowledge signals. They just got to get her there because she's a Duchess. So yeah, William has dug a hole for himself, and I'm enjoying watching him try to claw his way out of it. Although he probably is not, because he don't have enough sense. Cynthia says, I hear y'all, but I think the Queen was sicker than projected. I don't think she knew a lot that was going on. The Queen is who initially gave Harry permission to sue in the first place. Yeah. Well, you know how I am about that. I think that they took advantage of a 90-something-year-old woman. You see, the Queen was in a tough position as far as the future of the family, because primogeniture, that means that the entire estate must go to the older child. Now, because of that, they created a Duchy of Cornwall, where the heir would have opportunity to money, because otherwise, usually the heir would get in so much debt. The Prince of Wales would get in so much debt by the time they got to the throne that they have made deals with the devil coming and going. So in order to prevent that, they established that duchy as a source of income so that the next in line would have an opportunity to support themselves and their family and not be so dependent upon the crown. They don't have to hold their hand out. It gave them an income. But that was only for the crown prince, or as they say, the Prince of Wales. That was the only person that was entitled to something like that. The others had to depend upon whatever money that they would get from, let's say, the Queen Mother and this person. But with those titles, they forward everything to the next. And so that's why when the Queen died, Charles became the Duke of the, what is that estate? Oh gosh, I forget the name of it. But so Cornwall would go to William, and the Duchy of Lancaster, is that it? Duchy of Lancaster would go to Charles. And so Charles went from being one kind of a billionaire to another kind of a billionaire. And these duchies have huge portfolios. They're invested in all kind of stuff. And so because of that, they are able to sustain the sovereign and able to sustain the Prince of Wales. And so William didn't have to achieve anything. He didn't have to do anything because he knew he was going to come into some money anyway. He was already going to be bankrolled by his father in the first place, and he was. Harry, they didn't care about. Harry was not important. That's probably why William was like, you really don't have to get married, because William would have had to support Harry and his wife as the Prince of Wales. And I mentioned that a long time ago. Just think of the sibling that you get along with the least, and imagine that sibling, or if not a sibling, a cousin. If not a cousin, an aunt or uncle. Imagine whoever was in a position, imagine them controlling your purse strings for the rest of your life. And whatever little capricious whims that they had, not only would you be subject to it, but so would your wife and your children. And that was supposed to be Harry's future, which is why I say sometimes God will do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. And so Harry, with all of his wisdom and talent and his drive and motivation, he would have just probably, I hate to think what would have happened to him if he was stuck there. And then it's another reason why Meghan could not work for that institution. She wouldn't work with them. She could not work and fit in with them because she has a brain, she has knowledge, she has skills, she can manage, she can write, she can talk, she can do all kind of stuff. She's so capable. And I think that that's why a lot of the courtiers and the people in the tabloid media, they were like, whoa, it makes for a great story, but this just ain't going to work out. And very wisely, Germaine Greer, what was that her name? Germaine Greer, she said that Meghan was going to go. And with any luck, she'd take Harry with her. And isn't that what happened? Isn't that exactly what happened? Much to our credit as, non-Brits, we could not have imagined a system so archaic and backwards. We couldn't imagine anything like that. All the period pieces and docudramas in the world could not prepare anyone for this. You would have to really know that institution. And so the people who really understood the institution, they knew better. They knew better. Now, some people said it won't work and actively campaigned against Meghan. And then there were some people who said it won't work and was just praying for Meghan. That's the difference between the two. You had some that was like, nice girl, too bad. And then you had some that was like, nice girl, but no, she won't do. She's too intelligent. They wanted someone so opposite of Princess Diana, someone who doesn't seem to have a heart, someone who doesn't seem to think much, know much, or care about much, someone who could, look good in a frock, all of that stuff, which, okay, so they missed with that one. But they needed someone who could just fit in, someone who could wear the clothes, stand in place, and was easily subject to direction. And that's exactly what they got. They got Kate Middleton. She's an old-fashioned mute woman. That's what was asked for. That's what was required. That and the fact that nobody else wanted William. Nobody. In all the land, there was not one aristocratic woman that wanted to marry into that family, and least of all, wanted to marry him. No, nobody. They did not want him. And so, as the story goes, he broke up with Kate to send a signal to the aristocracy that I'm available. Come and get this bottle of Mitch and Roll-On deodorant. Get it while it's hot. Well, it didn't work out because nobody took him up on it. Nobody. They all headed for the hills. Cynthia says, nice evening tonight. I love this venue. Well, thank you very much. And thank you so much for being here at Royal Sussex. But yeah, that's the way I see it. Now, recollections may vary, but I say this guy has buried himself in a hole. He has a wife that doesn't seem to be very connected in any way. I remember when he was crying when they went to the Taj Mahal, and he was in tears. He was in tears. And you see how she's looking at him? That's the way she looked at him at the Taj Mahal. She didn't have the instincts to take his hands or anything. She just looked at him like a mute woman. And that was the long and the short of it. I'm sure they care about each other. I'm sure that there's some type of affection, but what there is, who knows? But I'm pretty sure that whenever William decides not to be responsible for driving his brother away, I guess we could all imagine who he blames for it. Do you want to take a guess? When he needs to take it out on someone, who do you think he turns to? Who do you think he blames for everything that has gone wrong in his life? I'm going to go with his wife. That's who I'm going to go with. Painfully thin, fidgety. Somehow she keeps getting these little cuts and abrasions on her fingers. How many times have we seen her wearing a plaster or a Band-Aid on her hand? Several times. Several times. She's got those weird nervous tics. She can't stop laughing, and all kind of stuff is going wrong. I believe, this is my opinion, but I believe that when the going gets tough, when he starts thinking about his pathetic existence, he blames her for it. He blames her for not being like Meghan. Although he doesn't really want anybody like Meghan because he doesn't want the challenge. He doesn't want to have to rise up to someone. So they found someone who is somewhat fragile themselves, and that's who he married. It's so easy. And I feel entitled to have my opinion because Lord knows everybody's got something to say about Harry and Meghan. Everybody seems to know when Meghan's up and down and this way and that way. Everybody knows how Harry feels. So I'm a royal reporter. I'm a royal expert, and my opinion is just as valid as the next person. And that's what I say. I say William has dug a hole for himself. He has painted himself into a corner, and he's stuck with someone who is, equally unprepared to rise to the occasion. And between the two of them, they're quite unimpressive. He would love to have someone like his mom or like Diana, or like Meghan, who could impress everybody. But then he doesn't want to play second fiddle to that person either. So that's why I say, like father, like son. They want to impress people, but they don't want anybody impressive to be by their side. Because certainly nobody's impressed with Camilla. Camilla might be impressive for those very tawny, aristocratic friends that he has that he can amuse them. But I'm pretty sure that behind her back, just like with Kate, behind her back, after all the years of making fun of them, when they finally married into the family, I don't think things went any better. People accept Camilla, accept Kate because they have to, because that's the rules of the aristocracy. But they don't accept them because they want to, they have to. They have to accept them because they're married to the blue blood. They're married to the top of the pyramid. That's why they have to accept them. But otherwise, they don't think much of Kate. Her family is poor. They ain't even poor, they po. They so po they couldn't afford the R. That's how po they are. They're so po they could not afford the R. So poor would actually be a step up for them, but they po. They bought po as could be. They so po they don't know how they're going to keep the mortgage floating. And so if William felt a certain way before, I wonder what he's thinking right now, that her family is this embarrassing institution. How are you feeling, William? Knowing that your brother has bested you yet again. He looks better, he runs faster, he jumps higher, he always argues the best case, and people love him. People adore him. You, not so much. Well, you guys, as I said before, it's not that his ears have gotten smaller. It's just that his face has caught up to his ears. Remember I said that? I had to find a photo to prove that it's not that his ears are smaller. His face is big. His face is bigger. That's all. It's not that his ears are tapered or smaller. They haven't been reduced by surgery. There's just more face, more nose, more chin, more jowls, more wrinkles, more everything. So that's what's changed, is that his face has caught up to his ears. Now, his face ain't caught up to his hands. I don't think anything could do that. But yeah, that's why they don't sit. Because you remember before, that's all you could see was his ears. Your eyes would go left and right looking at those ears. Now his face is caught up to it. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what's happened. I mean, I'm pretty sure Charles could pick up Radio Free Europe. I'm pretty sure he could pick up a transmission from Antarctica with those ears. He could probably hear into deep space. They're wasting money on top. I know, I saw that. I couldn't resist. So yesterday I posted the last installment of the Byline Investigates soap opera that goes along with GBNews and, of course, Woo Woo. And so anyway, it's a no frills edit, not much editing at all, makes it easier to do it. And the only one I think I haven't done was the very first one. I'm thinking about going back to do the very first one, but that is available. As a matter of fact, I did not post that in the community tab, but it is available. So if you're looking for it, it is the last video, not live, but the last video that I posted. I'm going to make a link for it to the community tab right now, just in case I forget. Oh, how did you guys like Special K this morning? I woke up, I listened, and then I fell asleep again because I wasn't ready to be awake yet. But I did wake up and I went for my phone, and so I did listen to about 45 minutes, which I thought it was outstanding as per usual. This is it. So okay, this will be the last thing that I posted to the community tab if you want to see it. But yeah, trigger warning. It is quite salacious. I had to substitute a few words with blank and N word. But yeah, I had to substitute a few words here and there. Kay Sterling, good night. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, let's take a look at GB News, or as I like to call it, trash. Shall we get a little shady? Why not? Why not get a little messy? So, GB News, as you know, if you go and watch this, you will understand why I have referred to it as trash. They are a sordid bunch. And what I found out from the article is that some of the Black people that work there tend to eat and dine and work as a group rather than with the main part of the office, because even though they seem to put on a united front, there seems to be a lot of hostility in that group. So again, you have to either go and read the article to get the whole thing, or you can, go and listen to the video that I made. But either way, they are a pretty dodgy bunch. And I think that working for GB News changes a person. I think when you go into that place, you already have a certain mindset. But by the time you have gone through that gauntlet of nasty innuendos and name calling, you come out on the other side so much the worse for wear. Good points to Tony Smith. But of course, they couldn't be in debt because they're making too much money off of her. Well, eventually, as the embarrassment grows, 1960, he better. I mean, how long are you going to let Kate endure the embarrassment of her family's finances? And she's got to be embarrassed by that. I mean, they keep running these articles. At least I hope she's embarrassed. Let's see, including Nana. Was there a first part of that? But yeah, they are trashy television. And speaking of Nana, this is what I wanted to talk about. Now, as I said, GB News changes you. Nana, when she first got there, she had this little publicity photo. She had this nice little CV or resume photo. Doesn't she look nice? Pretty. But after 1 month at GB News, she has turned into a raving lunatic. 1 month at GB News, and her silk press has turned into Medusa. It's like a head full of serpents, all vying for attention. What is it about GB News that will strip anyone with a, I'm going to imagine, pleasant demeanor and turn them into a monster? I mean, she is literally frothing at the mouth with hostility, usually something to do with Harry and Meghan. She did this to herself. Yes, Gabby, she's been zombified. She's turned herself into a monster. Now, I think, and I don't know her, but I imagine that when she was doing Zumba classes and stuff like that, trying to make ends meet, she was probably pleasant to be around, laughing and smiling, and maybe she had a certain light tone to her voice and everything. But now that she's with GB News, she's rolling her eyes. Her eyes are all puffy and her mouth is twisted up and her hair has a life of its own. This is what GB News does to a person. Now, if she wants to go back to being somewhat a humane person, a person that has love in their hearts and humanity, then it's important to get out of there. But as long as she stays there, I'm afraid she's doomed. She's absolutely doomed. Yeah, I mean, she could put on all the wigs or extensions or whatever it is she wants, but even with all of that, she just doesn't have that lightness anymore. That lightness of being. See there? That's before and after GB News. And I think the people that are smart are the ones that have taken a leave of that place before they took a leave of their senses. But no, I guess maybe this is the most money that she's ever made or the most attention she's ever gotten. And so the sad part of it is that her position is really built upon hating everything, yelling woke, and attacking the Sussexes. Other than that, I wouldn't know who Hakuna Matata was. I wouldn't know who she was. I wouldn't know anything about this woman, but for the fact that she earns her money attacking Meghan. Fatima says, to be fair, Baron, I think Eamon Holmes is getting younger every day, and I think he will look better after his hips recover from falling. That's because Eamon to me look like he's doing some type of fillers. He looks like he has some fillers. As a matter of fact, I think we have another Caitlyn Jenner on our hands, but I just was too polite to say it. But I think in a minute we're going to find out that Caitlyn Jenner has some competition. But that's just my opinion, because those cheeks don't seem like something of this earth. They seem like they come out of a fairy tale or something. But I don't know what's going on with Eamon. But you're probably right. So, and then of course, things are so bad for Nana. They have paired her up with Angela Levin. That's right, Angela Levin, Angela Latrine. They have been paired up time and time again. They even have like some type of YouTube channel or something. And yeah, so things are bad when the only people they can pair you up with is Angela Levin. That's when you know that your career has taken a downward spiral. That's when things have gone south. You can't find a good weave. You're stuck with Angela Levin. I wonder how it would look if they traded hair. Because y'all know that's not Angela Levin's hair. She's wearing a wig too. They're both wigged out of their mind. Okay, so Prince Harry plays polo for charity in Singapore. Couldn't wait to share this with you guys. This is the Bangkok Post, but this is the Singapore CNA paper or news channel, whatever it is. Britain's Prince Harry saddles up for Singapore charity polo game. Singapore, a smiling Prince Harry saddles up for a charity game of polo in Singapore on Saturday, August 12th. There is just so much good publicity going on for Harry. And even though that a lot of the tabloids are doing everything they can to downplay this moment, the thing is, the world is not Great Britain. The news is not only Great Britain. There's so many other places in the world and so many other people that value what the Sussexes are doing. So don't be in despair about the fact that we're not getting the best of coverage here in the U.S. and the U.K. There's a lot of good publicity out there. Jeannie Rock Bailey says, wow, was this worth it? No way. You lose your sense of being when you sleep with the enemy. Amen to that. Amen to that. And I'm pretty sure that you're referring to Nana and the rest of the people at GB News, or with Prince William. Take your pick. Because in the name of hate, in the name of, I suppose, very conservative right-wing values, they have forfeited their humanity. They have all forfeited their humanity. I wonder if this is even who Nana is. We know that William was like brainwashed and trained to be the awful person that he is. Charles, likewise, the same thing. But, there's something about being an adult that at a certain point, we all have to be responsible for who we get into bed with. And so thank you for that, Jeannie Rock. And also thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Oh, Marjorie says, Baron, are you sure the first pick is not? Is it that? Let me see. Is it that drastic? Yeah, that's Nana. That's Nana Akua. That's Nana. That is Nana. She just, like I said, I think that it's just what's on the inside has been oozing on the outside. And inside, she's been doing this job. How long can you go? How long can you be that angry? How long can you question everything in society? How long can you fight against invisible, non-existent enemies before you have to take on this look? Like Tucker Carlson with that the way he always scrunches his eyebrows. And how long can you do something like that? It's not natural. I have my feelings about things, but I don't walk around perpetually in a state of outrage. I can't walk around day after day angry at everything and everybody. It would take a toll on you. And I'm just, who knows how old these photos are, but still, when there's a light that comes from your face, there's a light that comes from your face. And when you step away from the light and you dissolve yourself into a world of despair and the depths of disenchantment, then this is what you get. She literally sits on television. How many people go and work on television, rolling their eyes, smacking their lips, and huffing and puffing and snorting through their nose? How many people do that for a living? Why would you do that for a living? If it's that upsetting, maybe you should get another job. But her job is to put on this performance day after day that she is so disenchanted with the way the world is going. And Meghan and Harry, she said that she wasn't going to talk about them and that she doesn't want to talk about them. She regrets talking about them, but yet she keeps doing it. And then if that's not enough, she's teamed up with somebody who makes no apologies for talking about them. So it couldn't bother her that much. Either this is a major grift or she's just a very angry person. Cynthia says, Baron, how old is she on both of those pictures? Well, I think Nana might be, I remember I saw it. I think she's 50 something now. But here, I don't know. I mean, I don't think she looks much older or younger, but I think it's just her disposition. Now, the photo on the left, let's be fair, that may be a little airbrushed or something because it's a headshot. It's what a talent agency uses to market you as a talent. So that's likely a headshot. But here on the right side, I bet you she wouldn't have taken her picture with that look on her face. Right? She wouldn't have taken a picture like that. So whatever the difference in years, it's the disposition that makes her look so bad. That makes her look so bad. I'm sure she's a very attractive woman when she's not angry all the time. I can't stand that type of anger. Thank you so much, Cynthia. And I don't even like the pretend anger. I don't like the pretense of it. I don't like that energy. It's too much. It's just like with Harry, the way Harry has managed to navigate his family. Harry does not show them anger. Harry tries to be as considerate as possible, but he doesn't show anger at most people. The only people that I think he ever really gets angry with are media, are the paparazzis and stuff. But people that don't necessarily have nice things to say about him or write trashy stories, he's not outwardly hostile toward them. Never has been. But people in his space, people invading his space, yeah, I'm sure that's more than a trigger. So, just to recap this part, Harry's venture into Asia has been quite popular. And so, to try to take this away from him, they're going to try to make it seem like he ran away from home or something like that. Well, Harry's got another job to do. And I, you know, when it came to my household and anybody else's household, when you got to work, you got to work. You got to work, you got to work. And outward appearances to other people, recollections may vary. So I think that that's what they're going to try to do as a talking point, is try to, oh, Harry's never at home. At first, Harry, I'm sorry, not at first, but earlier this summer, Harry didn't have enough to do. Harry doesn't work. Harry doesn't this. Harry doesn't that. And then when he does go to work, then all of a sudden they're worried about his family at home. So much to do about nothing. Centabale, the Hyundai Centabale ISPS was a huge success. And so is Invictus. Now, I saw this, Heart of Invictus. I don't know when it's going to premiere. It's supposed to be available for 2013. I checked the IMDb and it doesn't give a date. It says first season 2023, but it doesn't give a date. So I don't know when that is going to happen. But let me see, Netflix UK Ireland, summer of 2023. Well, it is still summer technically, but we haven't seen it yet. So I don't know. If you guys have any further information, please let me know. And let me see. Kim Coates says her wig is 52 years old. I told y'all I think that's one of Lola Falana's leftovers. I think Lola Falana discarded a wig in Las Vegas years ago, and somehow that wig found it all the way to the United Kingdom. Maybe it was in an old trunk or suitcase or something, and then it went to a resale shop, and eventually Nana was in there shopping and thought it suited her, and she just took it home, and well, she's been wearing it ever since. Yeah, that's an old Lola Falana discarded wig from her Vegas showgirl days. Oh, let me see. I got myself distracted. I was talking about the Heart of Invictus. Yeah, so I don't know when that is going to come out, but we'll be looking forward to it. Here's a bicycle crew that was in Dusseldorf today. And you can see they posed for a photo with the mascot. I don't know what the mascot's name is, but wouldn't it be something if what do you call it? If there was like a surprise guest at the Invictus Games that shows up in that costume, wouldn't that be a fun thing? But I wouldn't bet on it. We'll never know who's under the costume. And check this out. I love this. One of the squatties put this together, which service is universal. And I thought it was a really cool collage of pics where you can see the Sussexes even before they met each other. I'm sorry, these are all from before, well, except for that one photo. But yeah, they're doing their service because service is indeed universal. Oh, MSP or Miss, oh, I'm sorry, Miss P, you're quite welcome. Yeah, and we are just about done here. You can sense a wrap up is coming, right? Well, Yale professor Jeffrey Sonnenfeld says President Joe Biden is having the strongest positive effect on the economy of the United States since FDR. Huh. Not so bad for an 80-year-old man. Uncle Joe, as I like to call him. The Bidenomics is working, you guys. The Bidenomics is working. So they can do all the hunter and all that stuff they want to do. But the truth is, people vote with their wallets. They always have, and they always will. And as long as the economy is doing well, now I got to warn you guys, they're going to try to, if you're in the U.S., you're going to be paying more for fuel by Election Day, which is next year. You're going to be paying more for fuel. They always do that to try to get the Democrat out of office, just like they did at the midterm elections. Remember how high the prices were and then suddenly they went down? Well, they're going to do that again, $5 and $6 a gallon. But anyway, it will be short-lived. And lastly, let's end the way we did yesterday with Nacho. Nacho riding on that stallion. Hey, Helen Grun is here. The mascot's name is Buddy. Thank you, Buddy. That's our mascot. His name is Buddy. Thank you so much for that. All right. Let's take a look again. Yeah, he looks like a buddy. Yeah, he looks like a buddy. Perfect name for him. Yeah, so if you guys are going to the Invictus Games, you'll have a chance to see Buddy. And again, riding off into the sunset, Nacho, like a character in a romance novel, like a Harlequin romance. There he is, mounted on that black horse. So thank you very much for staying up, everyone, or waking up early to Royal Sussex. We had over 1,600 people today. I can't believe it. Also, thank you to the moderators for keeping this a safe space. And thank you to everyone for your very generous and thoughtful contributions. Always appreciated by Royal Sussex. And let me see. Lastly, I'll be looking for the last word of the day. Excuse me. And as usual, keep the Squatties and the Sussexes in your prayers. Pray for one another's families and such. Very important. Thank you, Lydia. Let me see. He's on his way to get church. Let me see. Yeah, that's right, Reber Henderson. I think that the kryptonite is to mention what is his name? Jared Kushner, and that $2 billion plus that he and Ivanka made while Trump was in office. Yeah, that right there is something that is definitely a talking point. So, yeah, Hunter's money. Well, I put it to you like this. Every member of Congress seems to come up eventually. And so why shouldn't the president's kids have a chance to cash in on it? I mean, it's unfortunate, but their names make money. And, you know, I'm not so bothered by it because let me tell you something. When one person runs for the Oval Office, everybody in the family runs for the Oval Office. And it takes a toll on the first family. all of the scrutiny that Meghan has gone through is unprecedented because it's been going on for 7 years. Presidents and their families, they go through it for about the same amount of time, maybe longer if they spend 8 years in office. So you got the 2 years leading up to the election, and then you have the 4 to 8 years in office of unprecedented coverage. I kind of feel like they earn certain things. That wasn't the case with the Trump kids. The Trump kids, not only did they come in and come up, but they literally were doing business for the government. They were doing business for the government. They would get on government planes and do business. That is outrageous. Trump campaigned from the White House. Do you guys know that no other president has ever done that? They have enough sense not to do fundraisers and stuff like that in the White House. At least not the very obvious kind. Yeah, inviting someone to dinner and then, boom. But Trump made a mockery of the system, a complete mockery of it, more than anyone else ever have. And even though I was not a fan of Ronald Wilson Reagan, at least he did have some dignity for the office. A great deal more than Trump ever has. So that's the big difference. I mean, Jimmy Carter had his brother Billy. Everybody has somebody. But Trump, he would have people stay at his hotel. Other people from other governments stay at his hotel and charge them 3 times the rates. That's very different from anything we've ever experienced. Very different. Whatever Hunter Biden has or has not done, dropping his name, would pale in comparison to the Trump family. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Monte Cristo. Yeah. Don't let people take your joy away from you. That's what the enemy wants to do. They want us to argue with each other. They want us to become disenchanted with our faves. There's a lot of things that they want. They want to use Harry and Meghan as a pawn in this culture war that's going on. But we can't allow that to happen. Yeah, absolutely, Yalibi. Absolutely. Yeah, Trump made a mockery of things. Every day I felt, every day meant another tradition, convention, rule was broken. Not every day, several times daily. So much so you didn't know what to pay attention to. And the media, the American media, just like the British tabloid media with the Tories, the American media was very much instrumental. Not just Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, they were all in on it. They were drunk with profits that they made for watching the circus, for covering the circus. They didn't ask questions when they should have. They didn't call people out. They just went along with it. And that's how we got stuck with him. That should never happen again. And it won't. Uncle Joe to the rescue. And with that, you guys, I am going to look for the last word. Let me see. Okay. Everyone, please stay safe, pray, don't peg, and hydrate. Thank you so much, Cookies and Cream. And I will see you all tomorrow. Love you guys. And remember, service is universal. No bad energy. There's life in the word, as Dr. what's her name? Joyce Myers. And remember, there's life in the word, and that's why I'm offering this 3-part cassette series. Hush your mouth. I used to do a great Joyce Myers impersonation. I used to watch Joyce Myers. Remember, there's life in the word. And that's why I'm offering this 3-part cassette series. So my husband, Dave, he said, you need to just shut up your mouth. Okay, I'm going to leave for real, you guys. All right, I'm out. And cue the Ginger Avenger. Good morning, Nubian Queen. We've been on for 2 hours. What do you mean, good morning? We've been on for 2 hours. You just got here? Oh well, yeah, we're about to go, but please, you could go back and rewatch it or something. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, and as usual, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Oh, I was about to say something. Let me get out of here before I get in trouble. I'm having that weird sense of humor. Okay. That's right, Leisha. She will never be a Stepford wife. That's the other one. That's that other Duchess. Okay. Good night, all.